Laughing is a sign of ignorance and is incredibly expensive in agriculture. There is a rare, wonderful satisfaction that comes when the town realizes the crazy farmer was the only one who actually did his homework. In the dusty, heavy heat of a quiet coastal barangay just outside Escalante City, Negros Occidental, a farmer stood next to a flatbed truck. It was overflowing with a steaming, grayish-brown, pungent sludge, sugar mill press mud. To the drivers on the barangay road, it looked like the farmer had just paid to haul away a pile of useless factory garbage. But this wasn't the first time the neighborhood had mocked him. In fact, his neighbors had been laughing at his methods for nearly 15 years, completely blind to the fact that every single odd move he made was part of a long-term, calculated engineering masterclass.
The skepticism from the town actually began way back in 2008, when the orchard was nothing but an empty field. When the grower first established this land, he completely abandoned the traditional geometric straight row grid that everyone in the region used. Instead, he meticulously plotted the land using a mandala system, planting his primary caribou mangoes on the wide outer perimeters of massive, fluid, concentric circles. Then, utilizing the wide, protected spaces between those giant future canopies, he integrated compact, shade-loving understory trees, delicate lanzones, and pruned cacao. No one in Negros farms this way. The old-timers openly mocked the layout, calling it a useless, confusing maze. But the laughter intensified when the grower walked out to his newly transplanted, knee-high saplings with a bucket of homemade white lime wash.
The neighbors joked about him painting twigs. What they didn't understand was that these young saplings, freshly moved from a shaded nursery into the brutal open sun, were incredibly vulnerable to transplant shock and nursery sun scald. Furthermore, their fragile graft unions, just inches above the soil, were open invitations for termites and fungal infections. By applying a diluted, breathable, alkaline whitewash to the baby stems from day one, he created an artificial shade cloth that protected the cambium and sealed the graft union like an antiseptic cast. The ultimate validation of his layout came in June 2008, when Typhoon Frank tore through western Visayas with catastrophic violence. Across Escalante, traditional straight-row plantations became victim to their own design. The straight lanes acted like wind tunnels, accelerating the gales and uprooting entire grids. But when the typhoon hit the circular orchard, the physics shifted. The layout forced the destructive winds to lift up, break apart, and swirl softly over the farm. While neighboring orchards were left in splinters, the circular mandala stood entirely untouched.
By 2015, the trees had matured beautifully into massive, dominant giants inside the wind-resistant layout. They were entering their prime fruit-bearing years, but a different kind of silent killer was beginning to sweep across the lowlands of Negros. As the regional dry seasons grew longer, neighboring orchards began losing their productivity to a devastating biological chain reaction. In this part of the country, the fierce afternoon sun cooks the dark bark of unprotected trees. When standard mango trees are exposed to intense, direct solar radiation during the dry months, the dark bark absorbs massive heat, causing the living cambium layer underneath to literally boil and split. This is tropical sun scald.
Across the fence lines, the grower watched as those inevitable splits acted as an open invitation for pests. The notorious mango stem borer beetles were finding his neighbor's cracked, weakened wood and laying their eggs inside, leaving larvae to tunnel deep into the heart of the trees. While the surrounding farmers scrambled with expensive, standard chemical sprays that did absolutely nothing, our grower didn't wait around to become a statistic. He knew he needed to scale up his defenses. He didn't need a pesticide. He needed a fundamental thermodynamic and biological shield.
This was the moment that flatbed truck of sugar mill press mud rumbled onto the farm. The farmer transformed this industrial byproduct through a precise, low-cost, multi-step refinement process. 1. Solar drying and carbonization. He sun-baked the sludge and lightly burned off the heavy organic sugars and waxes in a controlled biomass kiln, leaving behind a highly concentrated calcium carbonate powder. 2. Thermal activation. He calcined the material to convert it into reactive quicklime. Now dealing with massive, mature trunks, he painted the thick coating 4 feet high. The stark white trunks bounced the blazing afternoon sun away, keeping the core cambium layer cool, while the heavy alkalinity suffocated any boring insects trying to climb the bark. Then came the move that made the neighbors think he had completely lost his mind. He collected hundreds of river stones, coated them in the same white lime slurry, and arranged them in meticulous rings of his circular tree rows. He was building an ancient, passive atmospheric condensation trap. By coating the stones in white lime, they reflected 90% of the daytime solar radiation, keeping the rocks and the soil beneath them incredibly cool. When the humid night air rolled off the coast, it hit those supercooled stones, forcing the ambient moisture to hit its dew point and drip quietly into the root zones. He had engineered a self-watering system out of thin air.
The ultimate test of this 16-year journey came during the catastrophic 2023 to 2024 El Niño cycle. The rains stopped entirely across Negros. Streams dried to cracked mud, and the afternoon heat index stayed at a blistering 44 degrees weeks at a time. Across the fence lines, the neighbors' orchards suffered devastating heat stress. Unprotected trunks cracked wide open, stem borers took over, and regional agricultural losses climbed past 2 billion pesos. But inside the white-painted mandala orchard, the grower never turned on a pump. He hadn't given his mature trees a single drop of manual water throughout the entire historic drought. Yet, the trees stood in vibrant contrast. The lime coating held, the trunks stayed cool, and the white stone loops kept providing nighttime moisture while blocking daytime evaporation. When the harvest season arrived, the local traders arrived with their trucks. Across the region, mango yields were dismal, scarred, small, and heavily damaged. But from the white circles of the mandala orchard, the baskets came out heavy, clean, and unblemished. Because his defensive shield and passive watering rocks cost him next to nothing, built entirely from repurposed sugar mill waste and river stones, his profit margins were unmatched. One afternoon, one of the loudest skeptics from the Barangay Road quietly walked into the orchard. He stood looking at a heavy, white-painted trunk, then bent down and lifted one of the glowing white stones. His eyes widened as he pressed his palm against the dirt beneath it. The ground was dark, cool, and completely soaked with water. He looked up at the farmer in absolute shock. "You haven't irrigated this entire year? How is this dirt wet? And does the circle pattern really stop the wind?" The farmer didn't need an apology. He just needed the fruit to come off clean and heavy. He quietly shared the recipe, the chemical transition states, and the math behind the windbreak angles. Years later, when the farmer eventually passed his land down to his children, he handed over a box of old handwritten notebooks detailing decades of soil ratios, weather patterns, and tree responses. His children didn't just inherit land, they inherited an understanding of how to manage a living system through observation rather than force. Today, if you drive through that small corner of Negros Occidental during the dry season, you will see something beautiful. The laughter has long since faded, replaced by glowing white trunks standing in perfect circles within the dark soil. A simple, forgotten shield, proving that sometimes the best farming decisions look completely ridiculous from the road.